everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. So, last week, or actually just 3 days ago, I learned how to import videos from YouTube, send it to iMovie, and put up better videos, better looking videos, and my subscribers go down. What? You can't figure this thing out. Like, I've been doing this since July, this YouTube thing, and some criticism was your video production is not good. When you talk about a video or something on the internet, I do this. I hold up my phone, and a lot of people didn't like it. So I finally figured it out. I finally figured out how to browse through the internet and talk and embed it right into the video. I mean, it's not the best, but it's better than this. And my subscribers go down. Not the big deal. I had 3 days ago, I had 125 subscribers. Now I have 122. Doesn't matter. It's so silly. It's too small to even be concerned about. But anyway, getting right into this, I finished listening to a podcast, Eric Weinstein. Bryan Callen was on. I think the podcast was put up October 30th. Okay, so I know Bryan Callen. I heard about him from the Joe Rogan podcast. He's a good friend of Joe Rogan. And all the guys I listen to know Bryan Callen. So I heard Bryan Callen years ago on Tim Ferriss and their buddies. Of course, Joe Rogan. Who was the other guy? My other podcasts. It doesn't matter. Everyone seems to know Bryan Callen's a very friendly guy. Everyone likes him. Initially, I didn't. I thought he was kind of full of shit. I thought he was. I first saw him like 6 years ago on Joe Rogan, and he seemed to me like a wannabe Joe Rogan, but that's not true at all. Maybe Joe's a wannabe Bryan Callen. No, Joe's authentic. But he just seemed too cool for me. Like, here's a guy. Well, here he is. He seemed like a little too cocky. Like a jock sort of guy, and he is. And he's got it all. A guy who, he's an actor too. He was in, by the way, a stupid sitcom, Sex and the City, for a while. He's done a lot of stuff, movies and television shows. But here's a guy really smart for sure. Good looking guy and like really cool, like one of the super cool guys. Like in high school, the guy who was the most popular guy, sort of guy, and he was kind of athletic and jockish and seemed to know it all, and he was full of shit because he's always dropping names, like books that he's read. Oh, Nietzsche and Socrates said this and that. And I didn't like him. But you know what? He's been growing on me. And by the way, he's a stand-up comedian too. Aren't those guys weird? All of Joe's friends, that gang, they're fighters who do stand-up comedy. It's fucking crazy. And they have the same exact sense of humor. It's weird. But anyway, so I listened to Bryan actually about a couple of months ago on an older Tim Ferriss podcast. And then this clinched it yesterday. His podcast with Eric Weinstein. Bryan Callen is awesome. He really is super smart. He really is well read. Like, I was wondering, is he really reading these books? I mean, he will cite hundreds. I'm like, aren't you fucking getting laid? Or, because he's like a popular guy, like doing stand-up comedy, and like readings for nerds like me. Like, I don't have a life. I hardly ever go out. I'm a married guy, but I'm a nerd. I'm a homebody. I read books. This guy seems like he's too cool to, I'm being kind of silly here, but you know what I mean, right? So he really is well read, and he certainly is intelligent. His mind is sharp, and I was very, very impressed with him. Although he did annoy me a little bit. Everyone seems to be impressed with him. Eric Weinstein is Weinstein is like fucking almost like Einstein. He's one of the smartest guys on planet Earth. And he said, I've never met anyone quite like you. The range and depth of your knowledge and your passion. It is true. So So there you go. Oh, so anyway, this is what I wanted to say. He said something very profound. He was talking about, by the way, let me grab my cat. This guy is awesome. His name is Shiloh. He's 6 months old. And I'm a cat guy. I've had cats my whole life. He's the best cat we've ever had. Even before I was married, as a little kid, we've always had cats, Siamese and the whole thing. This cat, best cat we've ever had. He's sweet, he's fun, he's playful, and he's just a domestic cat. We got him from a shelter. He was out here, we live in the Catskills, and he was a little guy like this, just running around. They got him, and he was so sweet. He is just adorable. He's a little wild, too. We have two other cats. Okay, so I digress. So he was talking about this idea of envy and jealousy, how preposterous this all is. Because in a moment, you could go from envy can turn into pity. In a moment. We're all fragile beings. We're all vulnerable. We're all going to die. So if you have children, phone call, your daughter was killed in a car accident. So from envy to pity, just like that. Shooting pains down your arm. Oh, you have it made. You have a great life. Me, I live in a cabin. I'm married. And, I live in this nice, cozy place. And he's really going crazy. Come on, Shiloh. But in a moment, it can change. And another thing that Bryan said is there really are no tough guys. Like, this tough and... Listen, we're all vulnerable. We all have flaws and weaknesses, right? Okay. On that note, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk. Okay, it's me again. So let me just insert this picture on my phone. So here's Bryan. Okay, that's Bryan and his wife. So you see what I mean? It's a guy who has it all. He's handsome, his beautiful wife. He's a celebrity. He's rich and famous. Everyone loves him. And so then I heard stories about him. Actually, I think John Joseph was on Joe Rogan. He knew Bryan Callen back in the day in New York when they were in the early 20s. And he said Bryan was a wild man. And Bryan's a mixed martial art. He's a fighter, boxer and all that. And he said they used to go to nightclubs and they used to get into fights. So I thought he's a fucking asshole. But anyway, there you go. But in a moment's notice, Bryan Callen could have a stroke today. His wife get in the car accident and die. His children could die. You see what I mean? Good point. All right. We're all in this together. We're just people. And we're all flawed and vulnerable. Okay. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience.